it was a World Cup that yielded a record profit for FIFA, soccer's world governing body. $2.6 billion to be exact. Hosted by the winningest nation in tournament history, Brazil was in the limelight. And with that light attention came the good and the bad.
Al menos 200 personas durante una protesta para exigir mejoras en la educación.
Cientos de manifestantes realizaron marchas hoy en Río de Janeiro en protesta en contra de este evento deportivo.
Now, no host nation is perfect, but Brazil's plans for the World Cup were ambitious to say the least. 12 cities with brand new or refurbished stadiums, 35 public transportation projects to help get fans to and from stadiums, luxury hotels, and other public works projects, all to the tune of an estimated $5.6 billion.
Unfortunately, that 2010 estimate didn't really pan out. In fact, thanks to ongoing allegations of rampant corruption from political figures and construction consortiums, that figure ballooned to more than $15 billion to date. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, what did Brazil really get out of it? Well, for one, these massive stadiums like this one right behind me. But the more important question we should be asking ourselves is, what are these stadiums actually being used for? That's what we're here to find out.
This is the Estadio Nacional Mário Garrincha, a refurbished stadium based in Brasilia, which played host to 7 games, including Brazil's swan song against the Netherlands. This 72,000-seat venue features 288 concrete pillars, which help hold in place a self-cleaning roof. Originally projected to cost only $300 million, it ended up being the most expensive of the World Cup stadiums, costing $900 million, the second most expensive soccer stadium in the world. So you can imagine our shock when we walked in for the first time.
Oh, wow. So this is the Estadio Nacional. I mean, it's absolutely enormous. And the crazy thing is, you know, there hasn't been a game here in forever. And, you know, you can start, they're even mowing the lawn, but you have to ask yourself, what are they mowing it for?
We're also talking about a crisis of democratic representation. One of the problems with making these stadiums more useful is that no one is dialoguing with the population.
Christopher Gaffney is a professor of geography at the University of Zurich, who's written extensively about the World Cup and its effect on transportation and sporting infrastructure.
They don't think that a football stadium, instead of being used for shows and shopping malls and parking and football, could also be used as a full-time public facility for schools, for hospitals, for continuing education programs.
But it's okay, because there's a lot of soccer being played there, right?
Mário Garrincha doesn't really, it's overbuilt for the local capacity, but the way it's being used for football is to have big teams from around Brazil go there and play. And when the Flamengos and Corinthians and Vasco da Gamas of the world are playing in Brasilia, they're not playing in their stadiums.
Yep. This city of almost 2.5 million people doesn't have a single soccer team in the country's top 3 divisions. So why even bother building it?
O estádio não foi feito somente para ter jogo de futebol, e também para ser uma arena multiuso, como o próprio nome disse, né? Trazendo vários outros tipos de evento.
What are the maintenance fees for this stadium every month?
O estádio tem custado R$800 mil, que incluem todas as despesas do estádio, desde conta de água, luz, como manutenção, limpeza, segurança, todos os itens.
So to try and balance the books, the city government moved several of its offices and staff into the stadium, making it a stadium/office building. And then there's the matter of what's happening outside the stadium. Nothing but buses. But the city's Secretary of Tourism was quick to offer an explanation. He said, quote, "The parking lots of the Mário Garrincha National Stadium in Brasilia have been used by public transport companies for 30 years. The current contracts between the government of the federal district and the bus companies are based on the round mileage of each vehicle. To reduce costs, the outdoor parking of the arena is used by vehicles from the long-haul fleet, waiting for peak hours to arrive." So, what exactly is the value of having the stadium again?
Feiras, congressos, shows, festas, né? Tivemos shows internacionais como Paul McCartney, Já está confirmado para o final do ano uma apresentação do Pearl Jam, né? O estádio tem sido muito utilizado.
But former Brazil striker and current state senator Romário, who is one of the most well-known critics of the World Cup, disagrees.
Mas o problema é que hoje o estádio ele não tem tido jogos de futebol, que é o ideal, e muito menos shows. Então assim, o estádio está se acabando. Daqui a 2, 3 anos eu tenho certeza que para ter um grande show ou um grande jogo do jeito que está indo, vai ter que fazer uma outra reforma.
What's your opinion on the Mané Garrincha and its final cost? It's estimated to have cost around $900 million to refurbish. Why did it cost so much and where did that money come from?
Tanto federal como local. E eu posso te afirmar que se forem fazer um levantamento oficial, 40% ou 50% desse dinheiro aí foi parar no bolso das pessoas que eram responsáveis diretamente por essa obra.
We also went to the country's Ministry of Sport, which handles all sports-related matters, but were unable to meet with anyone. So aside from the Mané Garrincha, which other stadiums are struggling in the post-World Cup era?
Cuiabá Stadium in Western Brazil, that is really struggling to even keep its doors open. It was closed for emergency repairs. It had flooding. The lights didn't work. We see the stadium in Amazonia, in Manaus, that is going to be very difficult to maintain, that doesn't have an appreciable public. Stadium in Salvador is going to be problematic because they can't get the teams to pay the higher rental fees to play in those stadiums.
But despite all that's happened, the Secretary is proud of the stadium's past and even more optimistic for the stadium's future.
Agora, acho que a gente não pode se limitar a isso. O estádio está aqui, o estádio está construído, a gente tem que administrar bem. E a postura que a Secretaria de Turismo tem adotado. A gente tem feito um esforço conjunto com outros órgãos do governo para manter sempre uma agenda de eventos, de shows, e, na minha opinião, isso tem sido bem sucedido, porque, mais uma vez, a gente não passa uma semana sequer sem ter evento aqui. Então, o desafio é gerir.
So the next time you're in Brazil, if you're looking for a good venue to watch a concert or enjoy an event, I'd suggest the Estadio Nacional Mané Garrincha, the world's most expensive concert hall.